Hello everybody, this is Sherry at djsundry.blogspot.com, and boy do I have a mess. I am trying to organize my craft room, and now I'm not doing it. I've noticed some of my bloggy friends out there have been just spending days just organizing and cleaning their craft room, and quite frankly I don't have time to do that right now, but I am working on little by little, trying to get myself organized, and I'm finding things that I forgot I had. So if you are just coming from YouTube, I wanted to introduce you to a new segment that I have started over on my blog. I have the link posted down below, and that is www.djsundries.blogspot.com. And I have started a new posting segment called How Do I? Now, if you're just coming from YouTube, you're going to miss out on some of those posts. In fact, the very first post and the introductory post wasn't done on YouTube at all. It was just a photograph tutorial. So sometimes I'll be doing videos, sometimes I'll just be doing photographs, but for today, we're going to talk about how do I organize my Cuttlebug and Spellbinders and all of the little accessories that go with that. Now, as you can see, I have this big old mess. I have 2 bags of garbage here, and it's the packaging from all of my Spellbinders, sorry about that, my Cuttlebug and my Sizzix. Now, I've really been frustrated with the mess that I have right now. So let's just get rid of that mess, and I am going to show you the solution that I've come up with, at least for now. Almost done here. So we're going from 2 bags of garbage, and we're downsizing it a bit. Okay, so let's get started with how do I deal with Spellbinders. Now, this idea is not original for me. I went on YouTube and I looked at various options out there. I found one that I felt was cost effective for now. And I'm just going to tell you what I was really looking for and what I really wanted to do. I don't know how many of you are old like me and remember the Trapper Keepers we had in the 1980s. Remember, they were those great big 8.5 by 11. You could put in file folders and papers and organize everything for school. Well, I would like something like that, only I would like it in the half size. And I just was looking at my local Walmart and my local Joann's, and I didn't find anything like that. And this idea came actually from Erin over at Scrappy Hour 09, who actually happens to be my cousin. And I got this idea from her. It's almost exactly the way she does it. I will put a link on her. She's got a lot of great videos, but I just wanted to show you, I think this is a really good idea, and this is how I'm going to do it, at least for now. Now, this is adhesive magnetic sheets, and you get them at Walmart. Now, I'm going to tell you, they were very difficult for me to find. My Walmart has expanded their craft section. And if you have kids and that are into crafts for the summertime, my Walmart added a lot. And I looked and couldn't find it. I asked a sales associate. She kind of looked, wasn't used to working in that department, couldn't find it. And she asked another one, and she said, well, they should be over by the magnets. Well, I couldn't even find the magnets. So let me tell you where we finally found them. In my particular Walmart, and I know each ones tend to be a little bit different, but some of them are similar. They have a section where they've put in kids, everything from foam art to tie-dye art. And in that, they have a section, a very small section that has different types of magnet. It has magnetic rolls, and it has these little sheets. Now, these sheets are $1.97 at my Walmart for 2 pieces. They are when you open up the package, this is what it looks like. It's 8 inches tall by 5 inches wide. They've got this paper on the back, so it's sticky, which would be great for a lot of crafts ideas. I didn't want to use the stickiness because, like I said, I eventually would like to put it in a different notebook. But for now, I just got just what I needed. Then I went into the photograph well, it's not even the photograph section, but where they have the scrapbooking supplies. And at my Walmart, at the end of the scrapbooking supplies, they have their regular photo albums. And this was just a really cheap little photo album. It was $2, and it's just kind of plastic coated. You could decorate this if you wanted to. I may play with it a little bit with my Tim Holtz distress markers. I don't know, but for now, I'm just trying to get organized. So what I did is, it's just a regular photo album, just like this. Whoops, sorry about that. Just a regular photo album. And this is my one concern with this photo album. These are really thin, and that's why I would kind of like to get the heavier page protectors, because I think eventually the cutting trays on these are going to cut through the paper, but for now it will work. And this was only $2. So then what I did is I trimmed off the top, the 1 inch, and I took a paint pen and I labeled my dies. This is a paper tray ink, and I only have 3 sets of paper tray ink, and I labeled the company, the name of the die, and then I put the dies in here. Now on my other paper tray ink, this set has 3 pieces. It's the slider die with 3 pieces, so that if they get separated, I can try to figure out what's missing. And then on the paper tray ink ones on the back side, I put what they were as well. So again, if they get separated, I can cross-reference them back in. And I just used a Sharpie marker to do that. Now this one, this Flower Fusion, this is Flower Fusion number 12 from Paper Tray Ink, which actually I bought the little set of stamps to go with it, $5 set of stamps and a $3 set of dies, and I referenced that here, that there's a stamp set with it, so that when my stamps, I thought about putting the stamps in here with it, but again, for the same reason, if this starts cutting through, I don't want it to cut into my stamps, and so they will be stored separately. And then on my nestabilities, I did the same thing, only I also put the nestabilities, I put the name, and then I put the number, in case I'm looking on the internet. I wanted to have that number to cross-reference, and then I put the number of pieces in that set. You see, this is the lattice rectangles. It has 4 pieces. Now, you could go front to back if you wanted to, and I just slid these right in and out. See, just like this. You could go front to back. I don't have that many Spellbinders, so I don't need to. And then in the very back, I just slid in my embossing, these little rubber embossing things, just so that I have a place to save it. So I went from all 5 packages of those and a couple little bags of paper tray ink down into this one notebook. Then what I did for my Cuttlebug, and this is where it kind of got messy, but it looks so much better. This is a drawer, and I picked up this set of, it actually has 3 drawers this size, and it's tall enough that my Cuttlebug will fit in it. Now I'm a little concerned about these 5x7s. I haven't actually slid the drawer in yet. I may end up pulling them out and laying them on their side. I'm not sure, but sorry about that. I didn't realize I was off camera. These are the 5x7 ones that I have. But what I did is I went through all of my embossing folders, whether they were Tim Holtz Sizzix embossing folders, regular Sizzix embossing folders, Cuttlebug embossing folders. That's all I have right now. And I went through all of those packages. I pulled them out, and then I wrote with a Sharpie on it. The reason I chose Sharpie is they can rub off, but not as easily as a less expensive marker would. So I went through and I put, this is the Americana print from Tim Holtz. I went through and I alphabetized. These are all my A2 and 5x7s all the way through. They're all alphabetized. For now, because I don't have a ton of them, that's how I'm going to leave them. Eventually, if I get more, which I don't know that I really will, but if I were to get a lot more, I maybe would divide them up by categories, but for now, I'm just leaving them like this. They're all alphabetized. Now, the other thing is, obviously, if you've ever purchased a Sizzix embossing set from Tim Holtz, you know that, for instance, this is the Americana, it's called Americana Borders and Backgrounds, or Backgrounds and Border, and it's a 4-piece set. So what I did is I put 1 of 4, so that I know that somewhere I have 2 more pieces. Now, if if they were A2 size or the 5x7s and they were several from a set, I kept them all together. But some of them, for like the Tim Holtz ones, are actually border dies, and so I just stored the border dies right here on the side. I do not have a lot of border dies. I don't use them often. I don't see myself purchasing a lot of border dies, so for now they're just going to go in there. And then I had all these little tiny ones. I had picked up a bunch of sets at a scrapbooking expo, and they were very cheap. It was like $2 a set, and some of them had these little tiny ones. There were 4 of them for $2, and so I labeled them Animals 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I alphabetized them in here. And then the Sizzix sets, if you remember last year Christmas time, Sizzix came out with, they partnered with Hero Arts and Basic Gray and did different embossing sets and die cutting sets, and then paired them with stamps and just different things. In this particular one, this was a Basic Gray set that they did for Christmas, and they did a couple of dies, or a couple embossing plates this size and a large one, and then they said a free die. So I put those. These are my Tim Holtz textured trades, and this is also one of those Sizzix larger ones, and they just kind of slide into these little boxes that I had picked up a long time ago. And for now, I'm going to keep them just like this because I can fit all of my embossing in one drawer. And this way I can quickly flip through and see what I have when I'm looking for something. And I don't have packages falling out all over the place. All I have to do is pull out the drawer. And if I'm going to be doing a lot of embossing, I can just pull out the whole drawer and set it next to my workspace because it's very lightweight and portable. On the bottom here, I have few thin Sizzix dies and Cuttlebug dies. I don't know if you've even seen these. I don't use them often. Again, they were I think some of them I even paid 20-30 cents for. These are the Sizzix ones that came in those Basic Gray sets. And so I have those in a separate little box in there. And if there's something in more than one place, I've cross-referenced it as well. So that's what I did with my Cuttlebug. I was able to get it all into one. And then I was able to get in the second drawer, there's actually 3 drawers, but in the second drawer I was able to get my long plates. Now they won't go front to back completely straight because they're too long, and so I just kind of slid them in there at an angle, and I use those particularly for when I'm using my Tim Holtz rosettes, and they also fit in here. I only have 2 big dies left right now, and so I just put those in here. And again, these aren't things that I use them quite often actually, but they're not things that I plan to purchase a lot of, and so these 2 drawers I will probably get away with keeping all of this in these 2 drawers at least for a very long time. And in fact, I'm going to even slip my Nestabilities right in this drawer. So I went from those 2 big bags of garbage with all of these things in it into 2 small, organized, easy to find drawers so that I can actually use what I have. So now it's your turn. How do you store your Cuttlebug things? How do you store your Sizzix dies and embossing folders? And how do you store your Spellbinders and different thin line dies? Go to my blog at www.djsunders.blogspot.com and leave a comment telling me how you do it. You know, I'm always looking for ideas on ways to improve. So thanks for stopping by today, and have a great day.